Hollywood superstar Keanu Reeves had only planned for a quick bite after a long, exhausting day on set. With his stomach growling and his energy fading, he pulled into a quiet McDonald's, expecting nothing more than a peaceful meal and a moment to breathe. But fate had other plans. Before we continue this story, let us know where you're watching from. If you enjoy stories like this, subscribe to the channel because tomorrow we have another special story for you. As he sipped his drink and waited for his order, he noticed something off. Two young girls in identical yellow dresses moved silently from table to table, their small hands outstretched, their faces blank. At first, he brushed it off as a strange coincidence. Just kids playing a game, right? But when the twins approached his booth and leaned in to whisper a single sentence, just one chilling line, it shattered everything he thought he knew. Who are these girls? What did they say? And why does it feel like they know him? From that moment on, Keanu is thrust into a surreal and terrifying mystery that could destroy not only his career, but his very life. Before we continue this story, let us know where you're watching from in the comments. And if you love mysterious, spine-tingling tales like this one, subscribe to the channel because tomorrow, we've got another unforgettable story just for you. The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the Los Angeles sky in hues of amber and crimson. As Keanu Reeves stood by his trailer, exhaustion etched into every line of his face. It had been a grueling day on the movie set, a whirlwind of intense scenes and relentless takes, leaving his body aching and his mind craving respite. The crew buzzed around him, their laughter and chatter a stark contrast to the heaviness settling in his bones. Equipment clattered as it was packed away, and the air carried the faint scent of dust and coffee, a reminder of the long hours they'd endured together. Keanu wiped sweat from his brow, feeling the weight of the day's labor. Yet a quiet pride flickered within him for the work they'd accomplished. The director, Mike, a jovial man with a graying beard and a hearty laugh, approached with a grin that lit up the fading daylight. "That's a wrap. Keanu, you killed it today," he said, clapping Keanu's shoulder with a warmth that spoke of shared triumphs. Keanu managed a tired smile, his voice soft but genuine. "Thanks, Mike. It's been a hell of a shoot." Around them, the crew erupted in celebration, exchanging high fives and playful jabs, their camaraderie a tapestry woven through countless late nights and early mornings. Emily, the makeup artist with an infectious smile, called out, "Come on, Keanu. First round's on me. No way you're skipping out." Her words were laced with affection, the kind forged in the crucible of long production days. Keanu's heart warmed at the invitation, but fatigue tugged at him, urging solitude over revelry. He offered an apologetic chuckle, his eyes crinkling with kindness. "You guys are the best, but I've got plans tonight. Rain check." "Okay." Mock groans rose from the group, but their grins betrayed their understanding. "You owe us a beer, Reeves," Emily teased. Shaking her head with exaggerated drama, Keanu waved them off, a soft laugh escaping him as he watched them drift back to their celebrations, their voices fading into the twilight. Alone now, he felt the day's intensity settle deeper. A quiet ache for rest, he slid into his car, the leather seat cool against his back, and checked his phone. A text from his friend Michael glowed on the screen. "Hey man, photo shoot's running late. Can we push the meetup a few hours?" Keanu sighed, a mix of disappointment and relief washing over him. He'd been looking forward to catching up, but the extra time was a gift he hadn't expected. "No problem. Let me know when you're free," he typed, his fingers quick on the screen. Starting the engine, he pulled onto the highway, the hum of tires on asphalt a soothing rhythm. But as miles ticked by, drowsiness crept in, a heavy fog threatening to dull his senses. Spotting the golden arches of a McDonald's just off the exit, he signaled and pulled in. The promise of a quick meal and a moment's peace too tempting to resist. The parking lot was nearly empty, bathed in the soft glow of streetlights. As Keanu stepped out, stretching his arms to ease the stiffness in his joints, The cool evening air brushed his skin, a welcome contrast to the stuffy set. Inside, the restaurant was quiet, the hum of fluorescent lights and the faint sizzle of fries creating a cocoon of normalcy. Keanu approached the self-service kiosk, ordering a cheeseburger, fries, and coffee, a simple meal to anchor him. Settling into a booth at the back, he closed his eyes for a moment, letting the day's tension slip away, unaware that fate was about to pull him into a story far darker than any script he'd ever read. In the dim glow of McDonald's fluorescent lights, Keanu Reeves sat in his booth, the scent of fries and coffee mingling with the quiet hum of the nearly empty restaurant. His cheeseburger lay barely touched, the day's exhaustion dulling his appetite. Yet, as he leaned back, seeking a fleeting moment of peace, a subtle movement across the dining area caught his eye. Two small figures wove between tables, their steps tentative but deliberate, like shadows dancing in a storm. As his gaze sharpened, he saw them clearly. Identical twin girls, no older than 11 or 12, their faces mirror images of hope and heartbreak. They wore matching yellow dresses, once vibrant but now wrinkled and smudged with dirt. A poignant reminder of better days long faded. The sight tugged at Keanu's heart, stirring a quiet unease he couldn't ignore. The twins moved with a practiced rhythm, approaching each table with outstretched hands, their silent pleas met with cold indifference. A businessman in a crisp suit waved them off, his face twisting in annoyance, while a young couple turned away, their eyes fixed on their phones. Keanu watched, his chest tightening, as a middle-aged woman clutched her purse tighter, her glance sharp with suspicion. The girl's resilience was both inspiring and crushing, their small shoulders squared against rejection, their expressions a fragile blend of determination and resignation. No child should carry such weight, he thought, his fingers tightening around his coffee cup. What struck him deepest was the staff's response, or lack thereof. Cashiers and cleaners moved past the girls as if they were ghosts, their practiced apathy hinting at a grim routine. This wasn't a one-time occurrence, it was a wound left to fester. Keanu's order number flashed on the screen, snapping him from his reverie. He rose, his steps slow, eyes still tracking the twins as they neared the glass doors. Outside, under the harsh glow of a streetlight, he saw them kneel by a trash bin, their small hands carefully sifting through discarded wrappers. His breath caught as they unearthed a half-eaten burger, their movements deliberate as they divided it with a precision born of necessity. They settled at an outdoor table, the flickering light casting shadows across their faces, and Keanu felt a pang of sorrow so sharp it stole his voice. He grabbed his tray, the food now a forgotten prop, and stepped closer to the window, torn between action and uncertainty. Back at his booth, the twins re-entered, their eyes scanning for new tables, their steps heavier now, as if the scavenged meal had done little to ease their hunger. Keanu straightened, his heart racing as they approached. Fear flickered in their identical eyes, hesitating under his gentle gaze. "Hey there," he said softly, his voice a lifeline in the sterile air. "Are you hungry?" The taller twin, by mere inches, glanced at her sister, a silent pact passing between them. "Yes, sir," she whispered, her voice barely a breath, yet it carried a weight that shook him. He gestured to the empty seats. "Want to sit?" They nodded, sliding into the booth with synchronized caution, their wariness a silent story of survival. Keanu stood, his resolve hardening. "Wait here." "Okay, I'll be right back." At the counter, he ordered 2 Happy Meals, adding Hello Kitty keychains, a small gesture to spark joy. He pressed the cashier for answers. Did the girls come often? The young man's eyes darted nervously. "Leave it alone, mister," he muttered. "It's not our business." Keanu's jaw tightened, but the twins were gone when he returned, leaving only questions and a burning need to help. Keanu Reeves stood frozen in the McDonald's parking lot, the abandoned Happy Meal boxes and Hello Kitty keychains heavy in his hands, their bright colors a cruel contrast to the darkness swirling in his mind. The twins' faces etched with fear, resignation, and a fleeting spark of hope as their mother, Jennifer, yanked them away, haunted him, searing his conscience. Their yellow dresses, though tattered, hinted at a life once touched by care. Now drowned in poverty's grip, his heart pounded, torn between the safety of walking away and the gnawing instinct that something was terribly wrong. He tossed the food into a nearby trash can, but slipped the keychains into his pocket. A quiet vow to not abandon the girls. Sliding into his car, the leather seat cold against his back, he gripped the steering wheel, the street lights casting stark shadows across his face. Logic urged him to call the police, to let professionals handle it. But a deeper pull, a raw, unshakable need to act, propelled him forward. He started the engine, pulling out slowly, his eyes scanning the dimly lit street. In the distance, 3 figures moved along the sidewalk. Jennifer, her silhouette hunched, and the small forms of the twins, their steps heavy with defeat. Keanu kept his distance, his black SUV blending into the night, heart racing as he followed them through Los Angeles' underbelly. The neat suburban homes gave way to crumbling streets, where graffiti marred walls and streetlights flickered weakly. Each mile deepened his dread, revealing the stark reality of the girls' world, a place where hope seemed to wither under neglect's weight. After 15 minutes, Jennifer turned off the main road into a maze of trailers and campers, their rusted shells stark against the twilight. Keanu parked at the corner, his breath shallow, and slipped out, his dark jacket merging with the shadows as he trailed them on foot. Hiding behind a dilapidated fence, splinters rough against his palms, he watched the trio approach an old trailer. Its once white exterior now a sickly gray, streaked with rust like tears of decay. The door creaked open, a jarring sound in the still evening, and they vanished inside. Keanu's pulse thundered, each second stretching into eternity as he waited, unsure what horrors he might witness. Then, the door swung open again. Jennifer emerged, dragging one twin, Olivia, whose sobs tore through the night. "No, please, I don't want to go," she cried, her small body trembling, arms reaching back toward the trailer. Keanu's throat tightened, his eyes stinging as her voice cracked with despair. The other twin, Ava, appeared briefly in the doorway, her silhouette framed by the trailer's dim light, where a man in a white tank top stood, cigarette smoke curling around him like a sinister veil. As Jennifer and Olivia disappeared into the camper maze, Keanu's resolve crystallized. He crept toward the trailer, his actor's training guiding his silent steps despite the fear clawing at his chest. At the door, he paused, muffled voices seeping through the thin walls, too faint to decipher. With trembling fingers, he pulled a Hello Kitty keychain from his pocket and placed it near the doorstep, a small beacon for Ava, a promise he was there. Retreating to his hiding spot, his mind raced with questions. What was happening inside? Why separate the girls? His heart heavy, he turned toward where Jennifer had gone. Knowing he couldn't leave, whatever darkness lay ahead, Keanu was determined to face it, to uncover the truth and shield these children from a world that had already taken too much. Under the cloak of night, Keanu Reeves stood before the battered camper, its rusted frame a grim sentinel by the gurgling stream. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and decay. The concrete bridge above casting jagged shadows that mirrored the turmoil in his heart. He'd followed Jennifer and Ava here, driven by the echo of Olivia's desperate cries, each step a battle against fear and doubt. His knock on the door was soft but resolute, answered by a snarl from within. "Who's there? We got nothing to steal. So get lost." Jennifer's voice, raw with suspicion, cut through the silence. Keanu steadied himself, his voice calm yet firm. "I'm not here to take anything. I just want to know the girl's okay." The door flew open, revealing Jennifer, her tangled hair and torn clothes a testament to a life unraveled. Her eyes blazed with fear and fury. "You followed us. What kind of creep are you?" she hissed, stepping forward as if to shield Ava inside. Keanu raised his hands. palms open, his gaze unwavering. I'm worried about you and your daughters. I want to help. Jennifer's laugh was bitter, slicing through the night. Help? You don't know us. Her defiance wavered as she searched his face, sensing no deceit. Who are you? Really? She demanded. Keanu took a deep breath, the weight of his choice pressing down. I'm Keanu Reeves, an actor. You might have seen me in movies. Her scoff was sharp. Yeah, right? I'm the Queen of England. To prove himself, he pulled out his phone, playing a clip from John Wick. Jennifer's eyes widened, flickering between the screen and his face, then to his driver's license, her disbelief giving way to shock. Well, I'll be damned, she muttered, but her gaze hardened. So why's a big shot like you chasing us? I saw your girls at McDonald's, starving, scared, Keanu said, his voice thick with emotion. I couldn't walk away. Jennifer's expression softened, just for a moment, before she stepped back, opening the door wider. You want our story? It'll cost you. Inside, the camper was a claustrophobic nightmare. Stale cigarette smoke stung the air. Torn cushions spilled their guts, and grime coated the walls, whispering of years of despair. In the corner, Ava huddled on a tattered sleeping bag, her tear-streaked face lit by a flickering oil lantern. Keanu crouched, offering a gentle smile and the Hello Kitty keychain from his pocket. Her trembling hand took it, her eyes sparking with a fragile trust that pierced his soul. Jennifer lit a cigarette, smoke curling like ghosts, and gestured to a creaking chair. Sit, Mr. Hollywood, she said, sarcasm veiling her pain. She snatched his wallet, pulling out every bill, her bitter smile cutting deep. I was homeless in New York once. You pay for movies, now you pay for my truth. Her story spilled out, a decent life shattered by economic collapse. A husband who fled, leaving her and the twins to scrape by. They landed here, in this swampy camper, caught by money collectors who forced Ava and Olivia to beg, demanding quotas under threat of losing them. Tears welled as she choked out, Olivia's gone. 3 weeks without enough money. And they took her. Her voice broke, pleading, help me get her back. Robert, their collector, has her. Keanu's resolve hardened. The camper's shadows no match for the fire igniting within him to save Olivia and end this nightmare. The night air was thick with tension as Keanu Reeves, Jennifer, and Ava approached Robert's trailer, its rusted silhouette looming like a predator in the Los Angeles shadows. Olivia's absence weighed on them, her cries still echoing in Keanu's mind. Fueling his resolve, Ava clung to Jennifer's hand, her wide eyes glistening with fear, while Jennifer's steps faltered, her trembling betraying the bravery she fought to hold. Keanu placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder, his voice a quiet anchor. We'll get her back. I promise. The missing Hello Kitty keychain he'd left earlier sparked a flicker of hope. Maybe Olivia had seen it, a sign someone cared. Steeling himself, Keanu knocked on the trailer door, the sound sharp in the hushed night. His heart thundered, no script or stunt preparing him for this raw, real danger. The door creaked open, revealing Robert, tall and lean, his weathered face carved by hard choices. His eyes narrowed, then glinted with mocking amusement. Well, John Wick himself at my doorstep. He sneered, chuckling. Jennifer, where'd you find this lookalike? We could scam big with that face. Jennifer's voice shook, but held firm. This is Keanu Reeves, Robert, and he's here for Olivia. Robert's laugh was guttural, chilling. I think a fake movie star scares me. Keanu stepped forward, his gaze unyielding. Tell us where she is, or I'm calling the cops. Robert's smirk didn't waver. Police, they don't come here. Call them, and who knows what happens to your girl. The threat hung heavy, a cold blade against Keanu's resolve, forcing a shift in tactics. How much to get Olivia back? Keanu asked, his voice low. Urgent. Robert's eyes gleamed. Calculating. Client paid $300. Let's say $650, plus my trouble. Keanu nodded, reaching for his wallet, only to remember Jennifer had taken his cash. Her trembling hands produced the crumpled bills. Her earlier defiance now a desperate plea. Robert counted slowly, his grin widening. You really are the actor. Huh. Should have asked for more. With a nod, he said, let's go get her, ushering them into his battered pickup truck. The engine rumbled to life, cutting through the darkness as they drove to a rundown neighborhood, where peeling paint and overgrown lawns masked wealth hinted by sleek cars in a driveway. Robert vanished into the house, leaving Keanu, Jennifer, and Ava in tense silence. When he returned, a well-dressed man followed, his polished demeanor jarring against the decay. Keanu Reeves, in the flesh. He chuckled, eyes sharp with curiosity. Why care about one girl? Keanu's jaw tightened. We paid. Where's Olivia? The man's smile faded, his tone cold. Your fame complicates things. I need your silence. Or it's not just her family at risk, your career, too. Keanu's heart pounded, the weight of countless others trapped in this web pressing down. Bring her out, he said, voice steady despite the storm within. The man relented, returning with Olivia, her terrified eyes darting until they found Jennifer and Ava. With a cry, she broke free, collapsing into her mother's arms. Their reunion, a fragile light in the darkness. Keanu faced the man, his voice firm. We're done, but I won't forget this. Hurt anyone again, and I'll come for you. The man's cold smile lingered as they climbed back into the truck, Robert's face unreadable. Driving away, Keanu felt relief tinged with unease. Olivia was safe, but the system that ensnared her thrived. He vowed silently to fight on. For her, for them all. Knowing this night was only the beginning, the battered pickup truck rumbled away, leaving Keanu Reeves, Jennifer, and the twins in the eerie silence of the Los Angeles campground, its trailers and broken dreams fading into the pre-dawn haze. Olivia clung to Ava, their yellow dresses smudged but glowing faintly under the streetlights, a symbol of their fragile reunion. Jennifer's face, etched with exhaustion and gratitude, mirrored the weight of a night that had shattered their world, yet offered a glimmer of hope. Keanu's heart ached as he looked at them, the adrenaline of Olivia's rescue giving way to a sobering truth. This family couldn't stay here, trapped in a cycle of poverty and danger. He knelt beside them, his voice soft but resolute. You can't go back to this life. It's not safe. Jennifer nodded, tears brimming, her voice barely a whisper. I know. But where do we go? This is all we have. In a heartbeat, Keanu made a choice that felt as natural as breathing. Come with me, he said, his eyes steady with conviction. I have a place where you'll be safe, at least for now. We'll figure out the rest together. Jennifer's gaze met his, a mix of disbelief and trust, and she took the girl's hands, their small fingers trembling but warm. As they walked to his SUV, the weight of what he'd seen, a hidden world of exploitation lurking beneath society's surface, settled deep in his chest. He couldn't unsee it, couldn't walk away. The drive was quiet, the twins' soft breathing in the back seat, a fragile melody against the hum of the engine, while Jennifer stared out the window, lost in the wreckage of her past. As they neared his villa, Keanu's phone shattered the silence, its ring sharp in the stillness. It was Thomas, his friend from the NYPD, his voice thick with worry. Keanu, where are you? We were freaking out when you didn't show. Keanu glanced at the twins in the rearview mirror, their faces peaceful in sleep, and lowered his voice. I'm okay, Thomas, but I've stumbled into something big, something bad. I need your help. Over the next few minutes, he recounted the night's events, the twins' desperation, Robert's cruelty, the shadowy network profiting off misery. Thomas's sharp intake of breath carried through the line. Jesus? Keanu, you've hit the tip of an iceberg. Robert's just a piece of it. This could be a trafficking ring, and it won't be easy to crack. I know, Keanu replied, his jaw tight. That's why I'm telling you. These people are trapped. Thomas, kids, families. We can't let it slide. Thomas's tone shifted. Resolute? All right, I'm on it. I'll call trusted contacts and start building a case. But it'll take time. Can you keep Jennifer and the girls safe? Keanu nodded. Though Thomas couldn't see, they're coming to my villa. It's secure, and I'll make sure they're okay. Thomas's voice softened. Good. Keep them off the grid for now. No contact with their old life. I'll update you soon. Hanging up. Keanu felt a surge of relief tempered by dread. They'd taken a step toward justice, but the road ahead loomed long and perilous. He turned to Jennifer, her eyes wide with fear at the mention of police. What if they send us back? She whispered. Keanu reached out, squeezing her shoulder gently. They won't. Thomas is one of the good ones. And I'm with you. Jennifer, we're fixing this, not just for you, but for everyone caught in that hell. As dawn's first light kissed the horizon, hope flickered, fragile but fierce, in their shared resolve to fight for a future free from fear. Dawn's golden rays broke over the Los Angeles hills as Keanu Reeves guided Jennifer and the twins through the gates of his sprawling villa, the ironwork glinting like a promise of safety. The twins, Ava and Olivia, stirred in the back seat, their yellow dresses crumpled but bright against the leather seats, their eyes widening at the sight of the lush estate. Is this our new home? Ava whispered, her voice trembling with awe. Keanu's throat tightened, moved by her wonder. For as long as you need, he said softly, his heart swelling with purpose. Jennifer's face, lined with years of hardship, softened as she took in the moment. Her daughter's safety, a fragile miracle. Jennifer, I need one promise, Keanu added gently. Will you commit to rehab? To therapy. For their future. Tears welled in her eyes as she nodded. For my girls, I'd do anything. Thank you. Inside, the villa's warmth enveloped them, a stark contrast to the cold camper they'd fled. Sophia, Keanu's housekeeper, greeted them with a kind smile. Her presence a quiet reassurance. She led Jennifer to a spacious suite, the twins to an adjoining room filled with soft bedding and sunlight. Jennifer paused, her voice breaking. Why are you doing this for us? Keanu's answer was simple, heartfelt, because everyone deserves a second chance. Jennifer, and sometimes we all need a hand to grab it. As Sophia bustled about, Keanu's assistant arrived, diving into plans for Jennifer's rehab and researching schools for the girls, each step a brick in their new foundation. The twins discovered the backyard, its emerald lawn stretching toward a sparkling pool and play area. Their laughter, once a distant memory, rang out, drifting through open windows like a melody of healing. Jennifer's eyes brimmed with tears as she watched them, her voice a whisper. I'd forgotten what their joy sounded like. Keanu stood beside her on the terrace, the morning breeze carrying the scent of jasmine. They're strong, he said, his voice thick with emotion. Kids can find light after the darkest nights, and you've given them the strength to shine. Jennifer wiped her cheek, her gratitude raw. You didn't just save us. Keanu, you've given us a life we thought we'd lost forever. As Ava and Olivia chased butterflies across the garden, their giggles a symphony of innocence reclaimed, Keanu's thoughts turned to the shadows they'd escaped. The night's horrors, Robert's cruelty, the client's cold threats lingered, a reminder of a hidden world thriving on despair. The police investigation, sparked by his call to Thomas, was just beginning, a daunting fight against a network far larger than one family's pain. Yet, watching the twins play, Keanu felt a fire ignite within him. This wasn't a role he could leave behind, it was a calling, real and unrelenting. He made a silent vow to Jennifer, to the girls, to every soul still trapped in that darkness. He'd use his voice, his influence, to shine a light on exploitation, to champion protections for vulnerable children. The road ahead would be long, fraught with challenges, But the laughter before him was proof of what compassion could achieve. Keanu's heart steadied, anchored by purpose. This family's second chance was his own awakening. A commitment to fight for hope, to be an unexpected hero in a world that needed them. As the sun climbed higher, bathing the garden in warmth, he knew this was only the start, a new chapter where love and courage would rewrite their story. Can Keanu Reeves use his influence to completely destroy the dangerous human trafficking network he accidentally uncovered? Or will he face greater dangers than he has ever faced on screen? What dark secrets lurk in the Los Angeles underworld that Jennifer and the girls have become entangled in? And will Keanu be able to protect this family from enemies more powerful than Robert? As the police investigation expands, what unexpected connections will emerge? And how will Keanu and Thomas's friendship be tested in their fight against this evil? Stay tuned for the next chapter. We promise, it'll be worth the wait. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Your support means a lot and helps us create more great content. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Have a great day.